Oh my gosh. Yay! Okay. Hi, everybody. You're watching Ballerina Badass. My name is Georgia Reed, and we had some streaming issues today because Georgia doesn't get it. I don't know. Good Lord. Okay, so hopefully someone will come back and watch. If not, that's all right. You guys can watch this later. I am going to do a little more point work today. This week was, as I say in my little description box, a whirlwind. My husband and I went off, drove out to the Grand Canyon for an overnighter just for a mini vacation because we haven't had vacation since last August. And that was wonderful. The Grand Canyon is amazing. I might do a separate video on it. I might not. It just depends. We've also been hosting one of our friends, and I've been walking every morning at 6 a.m. plus working. It is a lot. So needless to say, I will be starting up the Pointe shoe parties again this Tuesday. I'll be doing that again. And Thursday, another mini class, live streaming, and of course today, point work. So I will leave the chat up today because maybe someone will have a question. If you do have a question, please feel free to put it here. I'm going to put here, if you have any point-related questions, feel free to ask. So let's get started because I am keeping this tight to 30 minutes so I don't overdo it. Again, I am an ex-professional ballet dancer. I went through the whole 9 yards training hardcore since the age of, well, technically 4, but really I got into it hardcore at 9. And then joined my first company somewhere between 18 and 19 years old, and danced with 3 different companies: Cincinnati Ballet, Kansas City Ballet, and Ballet Hispanico in New York City. And I also then danced with lots of different projects and companies and things like that on the West Coast. And then, but before that happened, I had an injury in New York City at what age? 22, and stopped doing full-time professional dance and got into acting and singing and all that other stuff. And then 12 years later, decided to try and make a comeback to do Giselle, which I did. It's all in my old videos if you look way back, way back. So I did Giselle at 35 with my hometown dance studio, which was just an amazing opportunity. And then I wasn't sure I was going to keep going, but I did for a little while longer. I even thought I was going to go back into professional dance full-time, like a ballet company. And when it came down to it, I was scared I wasn't good enough and too old because I was like, God, I'm going to have to lie, basically, to get anyone to hire me. But then I also realized, B, I just didn't want to go back into that company lifestyle. So I stopped again. Now here I am, and I just want to be able to keep doing it for a bunch of different personal reasons that I won't get into right now because this is about point work and helping you guys with some good point tips and things like that. And it's just also for me to get back in point shape. So that's my story. If you are someone who's brand new to point and you're coming into this, please be careful. Please stay at the bar. Please do it right. Please go to classes with teachers who can walk you through it. Make sure you get fitted by an actual point shoe fitter. Please don't just order them online and throw them on and say, I'm a point dancer. Please be careful. Be mindful. You can really injure yourself in ways that you may not even feel right away. But the sport is a very dangerous sport if not done properly. Anyways, I am going to be using an old pair of Russian points. All right, so I name all my point shoes, right, left and right. My feet are very different, one from the other. And it's easier also if you're backstage and you're throwing your point shoes on, you know if you need to switch them out or something. Up, right foot, left foot, left foot. You can see that on the shoe, and that's something I like. I'm going to put in my journal because I do like to keep track. And I recommend you keep like a point journal. This journal I do for a bunch of stuff. But for today is Sunday, October 11th. Yep. I'm going to say here used the L and R star Russian points. I like to make notes. Do they still fit as well now as they did back when I first got them? How do they feel? Do they work? Different kinds of shoes work for different kinds of techniques, or if you need a softer shoe for a certain choreographer or a harder shoe, if you're doing a longer ballet, or it just depends on the steps, right? So I am going to toe tape today. I didn't do toe tape last time because I have been using these, I'm sorry, these like toe cover things that I know everyone uses, but I did notice last week when I did my point work, I could feel that, what would you call that, seam pressing into my toes, and I didn't like it. I'm going to give it one more try today, but before then, I used to just tape my toes. I didn't put anything in my toe shoes, and I liked that. So I've done different things at different times, and it depends on the day and how you're feeling and how your toes are feeling and all that stuff. This tape, I got this sport tape at Target. Comes in 2 rolls, and it's a cloth tape, right? So it feels good. It breathes somewhat. I mean, it works for me. There's different tapes. You got to play with it. I like to take a piece about this big, and then I rip it down the center like that. And then I'm going to take it. Hopefully you can see this. I'm going to tape each toe individually. Just once around, not twice. You don't want, the more stuff in there, the more your toes have pressing against each other, and that can be bothersome. My second and third toe are slightly connected at the bottom. So sometimes I tape them separately, sometimes I tape them together. Today I'm going to tape them together. And I like to secure the tape under my toes, right underneath. So it's under there is where the tape ends, not on top. Okay, now I'm going to do the little toes and the little nubby toes at the end. Doesn't take a lot here. Again, I am working to avoid too many blisters. And yes, I still do get calluses, even though I tape. They're just not as bad. I find this protects my feet a lot better. I did trim my nails a few days ago. So they're not too long. Sometimes I need to also file my toenails, because if I cut them, they're like really sharp. It's weird. My third toenail is extra sharp, and so I can't explain it. No matter how much I cut it, then I have to kind of file it to sort of soften it down, soften the edge. Okay, so I will now put the tights back over up here, just so y'all can see, right? All toes are taped. Okay. Now I'm going to try the filler, but again, I may not be able to use this toe pad because it's just a lot of extra fabric, and I think these shoes would fit pretty tight. The ribbons are shot, but I don't care right now. I'm not worried about that. Let's see. I'm also using the toe pad because I am just getting back into it. I could use lamb's wool, or I could use a paper towel. That would be a little less padding. How does that feel? It's okay. I don't know, you guys. No, I think I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take the pad out. I know I'll put the pad back on when I get tired. I'm sure I will get tired. I could use a toe separator. That actually would be nice, but sometimes for me, a toe separator, while it's good for your bunions, I tend to feel like my toes are being squished in the shoe and it hurts. So I don't like that. A toe cap would be nice on my big toe because my toes, of course, my second and third toe are longer than my big toe. So I want a more even surface. It would be good to have a toe cap on my big toe. However, I don't have it on me right now. I'm just not going to deal with it for today. I'm going to just put the shoe on as is. Got a little bit of a hole in this tight. Get under there. Let's see how that feels. It's all based on what feels right to you, and it can change from day to day. We all want things to be the same every day, but it's just not going to do that. The weather changes. Your feet might be more swollen on one day than another day. There's so many different things to take into account. All right, I have these ribbons, which are falling apart, but that's all right. They're still workable. These are satin ribbons. They're not stretchy. Actually, I grew up with satin, so I'm used to it. I like it. Okay. Oh, that feels good. See, without the toe pad, I feel my toes can move in the shoe a little bit. However, I'm sure when I actually go up on the Pointe shoes, I might have a different feeling about it. We will see. I might regret my choices here, people. But that's what this is all about. Trial and error, right? Trial and error. on your own so that when you go into the actual rehearsal, it's go time and you are prepared. Okay, on these toes, it's interesting. Again, I said my right foot and my left foot are a lot different. On my left foot, it's interesting. My bunion's more pronounced on my left foot. My bunions are hereditary. I saw my grandmother. Oh my God, so bad. I am going to have to get surgery one day. But on my left foot, the second toe is longer, a lot longer. And that's where I got my stress fracture back in 99, 2000 that ended my career because I didn't have any understanding of how to fix it. A boot for 6 weeks. Boots for 6 weeks would have fixed it, most likely. And then, of course, you know, more strengthening, which I didn't do. So I'm going to do 2 sets of tape on this. I'll show you. So I'll do the single piece across the bottom because I'm looking at where bunions develop, right? Or, sorry, where calluses develop. I'm going to do that bottom piece, if you can see, like that. It may be hard to tell, but then I'm going to take another tiny piece and just get this top part of the second toe. That may or may not last. We'll see. I'm going to try it. So I kind of got this thing going on here. I'll show you. You can see that, right? So that's what I'm trying today. Again, sharing this with you guys so you can go, oh, I thought I like that, or oh, that's a dumb idea. I don't agree with her at all, and here's why. That's okay. That's what it's all about. And everyone has their opinion. Okay, next we'll do the fourth toe. Get it underneath. Again, I like to secure it all underneath so that if the toes move, they don't pull the tape apart. If you connect it on the side and they're rubbing, then the tape comes undone and it gets all ugly and horrible. Very annoying. If you secure it underneath the toe, it stays put a lot better. All right, so there's the final product of the left foot. You can see my horrible, horrible bunion, which I'm not a fan of. They are not fun. They are not cute. I know there are people out there who are into that. Ugh, I am not. Sorry, no. Okay, put the second shoe on. Again, no toe pad. I might regret this. We will see. And just so y'all see, for these shoes, I have the elastic in back. It's not crossed, but it's on either side of that seam on the back of the shoe. I just have one piece. I'm not crossing it. And then I have the ribbon. You can see where my arch is, right? There's my arch on my foot. That's where I put the ribbon. So right at the arch. I think that makes for a prettier look. But it's also important to know, it's funny, all the little things will help make a difference in how the shoe fits, how the shoe works on your foot with your body. It's amazing how much things can change depending on where you put the ribbons on your shoes, where you place the elastic on your shoes, etc. I'm going to try and tuck in that there. Okay, so I may have to come back and put these toe pads back on. We will see. Yeah. Try not to. I touch my feet. I don't want to touch my face. Gross. I gave myself. I did my Zoom class earlier. I give a live free Zoom basic ballet bar on Sundays at 11 a.m. Well, now it's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's been really great. And people will donate money, which is nice, but it is free because I want to offer it as a community service, as something for dancers who just need to do a basic bar that's not about trying to look impressive or impress other people or whatever. It's very, very laid back. And I've liked it, and it's really been a great opportunity to talk to other dancers about what they're going through and dealing with during the pandemic. So I have had a chance to warm up, and now I've cooled down. So I'm feeling a little bit cold. I have my rubber pants on. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Right now it feels good. Now these shoes were worn before. I think they've been, because they feel nice and hard, so I think I must have baked them again, shellacked and baked them. Also, again, remember, I think I've said this in previous videos, but if you save Pointe shoes that aren't totally thrashed and you reuse them later, like if you leave them alone, I don't know, for a month or so, they will start to harden again a little bit. But it just depends on how much the shoe has shifted and moved. Some of my shoes with the piece that I'm doing, right, if you're like way off the point, it just thrashes the shoe, and it doesn't matter how hard they get again. You can't reuse them because you can't really balance on them properly. Oops, someone says hello. Yay. Okay, hello. I will say hello to that person. And show. Okay, hello. Let's do some point exercises. It's not gonna feel great because it's been a long time. I think I'm gonna leave these pants on for now, although, well, no, let's not. I know it's a little harder to see behind the bar what I'm doing, but I'm just so out of shape, you guys. It's okay, though. I am really trying to forgive myself for that and love myself despite it, because life happens, but hopefully you can at least see what the shoes are doing. So what I'm noticing already, my feet feel a little bit, my toes feel a little bit pulled back, pressed back in these shoes. I think because of COVID-19, I've been walking around a lot in my socks and slippers at home while I work, so my feet have spread a little bit more, right? When you're dancing all the time, I think, maybe they're a little bit more tight, but I feel like my second toe wishes there was more space to stretch out. That being said, though, I am going to keep going anyway. I think as long as I'm careful. You want to be very careful. If you're feeling that the shoe is too short for you, that can really cause some serious injuries. However, if the shoe's too long, then you don't have the proper support for your feet. You're like wearing slippers, and that's not good either. So there's always that balance. All right, so I'm just going to do some gentle roll-throughs to start. Now I've got my timer set, so when the timer goes off, I'm stopping. Again, I'm going to take it easy and come back nice and slow. I do not want to regret my choices. It's so funny. There's a little bit of that uncomfortability, but it feels so good to be back. I've been doing this since, Pointe shoes, my first Pointe shoes were when I was 9. So we're talking off and on, we're 30 years, right? 30 years of dancing on Pointe. And it's like your church, your home, everything. It feels so right. Or so familiar, maybe. How about that, right? Could be like a cult. It's not necessarily healthy, but it's what you know. Okay. I'm going to try, what do I want to do now? I'm going to do a little bit of releve. Just half releve. I'm feeling nervous, guys. I'm worried that I'm going to go up and it's just going to hurt because it's been so long. Let's see what we got. Again, I did do a class earlier. I want to make sure I'm using those deep 6 rotator muscles, right, underneath your booty. Boop, boop, boop. Like if someone has a cactus and they're right up your butt. Diane Laridson used that terminology. I do not take credit for that. I love it. So let's see. Okay, let's go for it. I'm going to just do some nice plie, releve. Okay, yay! Not too bad. All right. Very good. I'm sickling a little bit on the left foot. That's sickled. Now I'm in a better position. I'll show you from the side here. Look, sickled. Better in place, right? So don't want to sit back here in the shoe. I want to sit like right there. That's it. Nice on the top of it, on the platform. Okay, so what I'm thinking about, I've got my heels together, and they're going to want to come apart during this, right? But I'm going to try and keep them together because it just it strengthens. I don't know. Somehow having those heels together makes all the rest of my muscles work better together. I can do the Vaganova way, but for me right now where I am, because I've lost so much strength and muscle and turnout, if I do this for me right now, it makes me want to sit back. You can see that makes me want to sit back a little bit instead of staying up because the knees are pulling back, right? Because my knees are actually facing about here. That's where my ankles should be if I want to keep them right over the knees. But I have all my ankle turnout, so I want to cheat, right? By bringing my heels together, though, now I feel more like straight up and down, like I can engage. I don't want to sit back. It's more obvious to me that I'm sitting back than when I have my knees out. I don't know, it just makes more sense. Plus, I don't want to tuck my hips. I want to keep that nice neutral spine, but then engage those booty muscles and lifting up and forward, right? Up, forward, and out of the body. That's what I'm working with. That's what I'm thinking about. If you disagree, feel free to comment. I may or may not read your comment. We'll see. I'll be reading all these comments at the end, just FYI. So if anyone's like, hey, what about this? When the little bell ringy thingy goes off, then I will go and look at the comments. So here we go. So I'm just going to go plie, lifting up, neck nice and lifted, elevate. I'm definitely right now using my bar, all right, because I have lost a lot of strength. Going to do 10 and then rest. It's like I'm back in Pointe class from 10 years old. That foot really wants to sickle. I think that's 10. Okay, relax and rest. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, I'm very happy I taped my toes. That is good, good, good. No, thank you, blisters. All right. Noticing a little tension in my back. Also, this bar, I made this DIY bar, but it is a little wobbly. $30, what do you want? Okay, let's do 10 more. Plie, lifting up with the tummy. Up. Plie, and up. Now, what am I going to do about that? There we go. I want to keep my feet in the right position each time. So funny, I can feel like a million things wrong I'm doing with this right now. Again, because of the lack of strength, lack of the muscles that engage normally, I can feel it. Just so many things that I'm already wanting to correct in my brain. It's one of the reasons that my friends say, wow, you think too much, Georgia. It's like, yes, I do. Force a habit from being a dancer. There's like 20 different things going on in your head, right? How is your chest? How is your neck? How is your épaulement? How is your arm? Where's the leg? Where's all of this, right? So it becomes like second nature after a while, but when you've lost it and you come back to it, oh my God, and you're like, wait, that muscle's not working anymore. That's not firing anymore. Why won't it do what it used to? It's really frustrating. Okay, now I'm going to try, I've done 10 and 10. I'm going to try what I did last week, where I press down in the ground, and I almost like my toes are going to like press so hard into the ground, like it's pushing off the ground. It's almost my heels are about to, and as my heels are about to come off the floor, then I'll press up into a releve. So there's no plie in there, right, to get up. It's like a pop-up. I'm going to try that out. Again, that's for strengthening my muscles to get up to that releve, and then I'll come back down into a plie. So pressing with the feet, pressing with the toes, press, 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 press. Heels are coming just off the ground. And plie. And press. 2, 3, 4. And plie. And press. 2, 3, 4. And plie. Press. 2, 3, 4. And one more. And again, I'm already feeling my turnout is wanting, I'm focusing on my feet. I can feel my turnout is kind of saying, oh, we'll just take a back seat and relax. Nope. I'm going to keep on thinking about those deep 6 rotator muscles under my rump, continuing to work so you don't feel those heels slide out, right? And hop. Good. Yes, better. I have to compliment myself. Good, Georgia. Good job. All right. That's good. I'm going to relax, shake it out. Do a little stretch on the foot. Something you can do where you can keep the standing leg parallel. You've got the other foot crossed over, turned out, and then I'm pressing against my calf with this knee, gently. It's a nice stretch in the arch. Oh yeah. Yay! That feels good. I know, so exciting. It's so sad, you guys. I'm trying to do développés. And even at my best, my développé was maybe here, and I mean at my best, okay, right? I was never one of those, yeah, girls, right here. I can barely get above 90 right now. It is so, I can stretch my leg, but développé, it's like it goes, So I'm working on the strengthening exercises for that to maybe get it back. But I don't want to go too far. Again, I'm not trying to get back onto some stage with some crazy behind my head kind of leg. I want to take it easy. I don't want any major injuries here at 40. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Okay, just gonna let those toes relax a bit. Again, as you're watching this, this is for you to think about as you work through your own routine when you're warming up. You're warming up before rehearsal, before class, before whatever you're doing. If you're going to play at home, be careful, right? Be mindful. Use what you have. Use your chair, bar, stay there. If you get the right technique in advance, then when you go out center, you'll be that much more ready to try the other stuff. So I'm going to go to second now. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's so sad, that point. Oh, it's like, get point. Oh no. That's what we have today. Okay. We're going to do some plie releves in second. And plie, up. I feel the rotators working. That's good. Just doing 10. Stop and rest. The shoulders go. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, the tightness. I'm dealing with all kinds of other tight muscles because now I work a desk job every day for 8, 9, 10 hours sometimes. It's ridiculous. So I get tight muscles in all these other areas, and my weight is shifting, so I'm really having to like now I'm trying a standing desk situation to see if that helps. More walking, all kinds of things to try and mitigate the negative features of desk work. Oh my gosh. Okay, 10 more. When I plie, lifting up, right? Sometimes it's interesting to try breathe in, breathe out. You can try that. That's 10. All right. Yep. Oh, my feet hurt. Absolutely. What kind of hurt? Not danger hurt. Definitely tired hurt. They're like, wait a minute. You want us to do this again? I thought we were done with this. We're never done. It's never done. Okay. I'm not ready yet to do, well, no, I don't want to do the plie passes. One of the exercises when you're first starting out, right, is doing from plie passe front, right, or plie passe back. I'm not feeling that yet. I might go for coupe though. But let's start with Susu first. Okay, so let's do from fifth. I think I'll do, let's try 10 Susus. So I'm going to pull up, right, and close those feet together into a nice Susu. And then I'm going to come back down into plie. I'm going to let them back out. And when you go into that plie, the more you can let your feet completely relax and melt, in my opinion, it's better. There might be other schools of thought of keeping them tense the whole time, but I personally feel that's dangerous. That's me. So, again, lifting up always. Oh my gosh, so many things wrong. But it's okay. We're here. We're trying. And 10. Oh my gosh, my booty is shaking. There's a lot more meat back there right now. When I'm in fully good shape, it's like it all goes, right? Right now it's like, shubba-dubba-dubba. Shubba-dubba. Okay, better relax. See, if this was class growing up, I would not get to talk and rest in between. It would be much more, hold in fifth and wait till the music comes back on. Don't say anything or you're kicked out of class. Sorry, that's not how Miss A talks, but yeah, here we go, other side. And get off of my, what is it with hair, you guys? Okay, other side. And interesting. I'm noticing because my arches, right, I have really ovary archy feety, and that can tend to make it so that I can sit in the shoe. If I pull back just a bit, then I'm up on releve and I'm holding it with my muscles. I'm not just sitting in the releve. Does that make sense? So if you have shoes that are strong enough, you can sit there and just go and releve, but it's putting undue pressure on my feet, and they're holding way too much weight. I need to lift up out of the shoe so that my feet have as little weight on them as possible, right? Is that constantly lifting up out of your body, and you can just fly. So it's harder though just doing releves and holds. It's like I want to go releve and I'm sitting in it, instead of thinking of scooping up and out of the shoe, and up and out of the shoe, and up and out of the shoe. And again, if you have really archy feet, try pulling back. So I'm going to try an experiment with the échappés, okay? Because I need to do some more. I'll just do the second position releves again. So let's see, if I go plie, releve. Right now I'm just sitting in, my arch is just kind of sitting there. If I do, can you see the difference? I don't know if you can, but right now I'm activating my inner thigh muscles more and my rotators in back. And now I don't feel like I'm sitting in the shoe. See, there's the sitting. There's the lifting up. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Woo! And come down. My feet are cramping. Wow! Hello, crampy feet. When the feet start to cramp, it's time to stretch. So I'm going to do a calf stretch. Oh. I have to look at this bar. It's just a little wobbly. To fix that. All right. May not feel like I'm doing much today, but it's something. And every little bit moves you forward. Go one step closer to being America's next, not top, retired, almost ballet dancer. Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. That feels good. Okay. So I'm going to try 10 more releves in second, thinking about lifting up out of the shoe and not letting myself go over the releve. Let's see what happens. Again, it's been a long time, so I'm sure a few of these, at least, if not most of them, are still going to want to go over and sit in the shoe. But I'm going to try to work to lift up and out of them and use all of these wonderful leg muscles we've been getting, right? Your adductors, your abductors, your blah-de-dee-blue-blues, that I know, it's like, what are you talking about, Georgia? They told us about this in the beginning, to lift up and out of the shoes. And that's better already. Yep. Also, because of my hyperextended knees, it's easy to sit back into them, and instead I want to engage and lift up and out. One more. Okay, there we go. And rest. Woo! Yep. Definitely soreness, no danger pain. The shoes are definitely, I'm feeling they're a little short. My second toe is pressing into it. I don't like that. But I'm glad I didn't put in those toe pads, because it would have been even more cramped up in there. And that would not have been good. Excellent. All right. What do I want to do now? I think I'm going to go for a Susu échappé side. Susu, plie, échappé, plie, Susu. And this is now where I'm getting a chance to do just a tiny bit, right, of the head pat tummy rub, because I got to think about lifting up in that Susu and then out and up and out. And it's tempting that one leg's going to want to go further out than the other. I want to keep those as even as possible. That's my goal. And it's also really tempting, like I said before, to sit in the shoe. It's like, sit in the shoe because it looks cool. It's like, nope. These are very important steps that are going to move you through the space when you're doing choreography. So let's see what I can do to lift up and out. Wish me luck. 5, 6, 7, 8. Susu. Échappé. Susu. Échappé. Susu. Échappé. Susu, and HP. And Susu. Keep breathing. Oh my gosh. Hup. I can feel my body getting tired. My feet are like saying, are we done yet? And 8. And come down. Okay, even on that last one, I felt one foot wanted to go out more than the other. Yep. These are so basic, you guys, but oh my gosh. It really is the way to, for me, this is the way for me to even consider potentially getting the shoes back on and going to do pirouettes and footwork and things in the center and all that. I don't know if I'll ever do Pointes again. I don't know if I ever really could do Pointes. Ever, really. A few. There's still this piece of me that wishes somehow I could figure out the magic trick and make them happen before I die. Just 16 beautiful Pointes on point would be like, yes. But then you go, well, but 16 beautiful Pointes on point on stage? Probably not. I don't know. But you just sort of want these, you set these little bucket list goals for yourself, and you're like, man. And the fact that I danced as long as I did and for as many places as I did, I never got that. It's interesting. All right, so now, I'm going to try some Relevated Coupe back and front, okay? So I'm going to go Releve. Now, there's two different ways to do Releve, right? You can either do Releve where you go, if you're watching my feet, you go out to where the point tip is, or you can do a Releve where you bring the point tip underneath you, like you saw in Susu, right, that I did. So I could either do Releves this way, or I could do Releve underneath. I'm going to do both, okay? So I'm going to do Releve Coupe back, Releve Coupe front, back, and front. I'm going to see if I can do 8 of those going out to the point, and let's just see what happens and see how it feels. It might feel horrible. We'll see. Let's just try that. Again, different kinds of exercises, different kind of uses, depending on what you need to do. I think they're all worthwhile learning. So let's try it. Oh my gosh, I'm sure I did that wrong. Hand. 5, 6, 7, 8. Plie, coupe it back. Plie, coupe it front. Oh my gosh, you guys, 1 foot, that's a lot harder. All the weight's on 1 foot. I'm leaning on the bar a lot. I own it. 7 and 8. Come down. Rest. Resting. That was interesting to say the least. We are not doing passes yet, my friends. Oh no, I am not doing it. I'm gonna take my time. Okay. Let's try it again. I'm gonna put the left foot front this time. Now this time, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm gonna bring the shoes underneath me. Plie. Underneath. Plie. So again, show up, right? Underneath. Come back out. Underneath. Come back out. It's a whole different kind of thing. So let's try it. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. And 5, 6, 7, and 8. Plie, under. Plie, under. So you'll see now my body stays in one spot. Ooh, the whole time. That right foot, whoop, a little bit, does not want to do it. Interesting. And finish. Yeah. That's not easy for me right now. Good Lord Almighty. All right. I'm getting close to wanting to stop, and I'm going to do some nice exercises. I think I'll do a little more bourrée, like I worked on last week, just the basic beginning building blocks of the bourrée. And then that's it for today. Again, you all can watch this and feel better about where you are. You're like, well, man, you know, I can dance on my point shoes way longer than Georgia can. Ha, 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 ha. Good for you. Whatever helps you sleep at night. And I'm sure I'm being too hard on myself, because people say that I am. But on the other hand, too bad. Okay, here we go. And let's go to Susu. Now I'm going to take that back foot. Again, try not to let the hips move. Back foot, I'm going to flex it, pull it across, and then I'm going to flex the front foot, bring it back to Susu. Flex, pull that heel down and across. Oh, that's hard. This is so boring. but eventually it looks really good as a bourrée. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's all I can do today. Yep, because my toes are not strong enough right now. They're sinking into the shoe. I can feel it because my ankles aren't strong enough. These are all muscles like anything else. Use it or lose it, right? But you can get it back. That's part of why I'm doing this, to show you guys how to get it back. Or you can watch and see if I get it back and go, oh, nope, Georgia didn't get it back. Too bad. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Or, Georgia didn't get it back, but I'm going to do it. Whatever inspires you. But I'm going to stop for today. I can feel it in my toes. They're saying that is enough for now. So I'm going to come here. How are we on time, my dearies? Hello. Oh, I didn't press the start. Well, no wonder. Okay, it's already past the 30 minutes. Don't you love when this works out? But that's what happens. So, I feel like Mr. Rogers. So, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you be? Won't you? Please, please, won't you be my neighbor? That movie with Tom Hanks is so good. I bawled. I cried so hard. It was just great. And then there's the documentary, and then there's just so much good stuff. I always thought his Muppets or puppets were kind of creepy, but I love the show. All right, so shoes, you want them to air out, right? It's only been 30 minutes, but even now, all that sweat gets into the shoe, and since it's, at least with these old school shoes, it's just satin and glue. It's going to break it down eventually, and if you just throw them in your bag and don't let them air out properly, they'll die a lot faster. You want to make these suckers last if you're on a budget like I am. So what I like to do, turn that heel inside out. I'll take the little ribbons and just gently tuck them in, or you can roll them if you're OCD, whatever you got to do. Just tuck it all in, tuckity tuck. The tucking, if you just tuck it in, then when you bring the ribbons back out, they will be wrinkled. So if you don't like that look, I mean, you'll put them back on, but again, OCD. But now they can sit like this. You can put them on, like I used to put them on my radiator, I think in New York. Is that right? Did I? Yeah, I think I did. Crazy. But I'll just leave them out like this for the night. You could also throw them, you could just turn your oven on to 200 degrees. When it beeps and gets warm enough, then turn the oven off and just put the shoes in overnight. But that's assuming that, no one else in your house is using the oven and doesn't accidentally turn it back on at 400 degrees to preheat and roast your shoes. Not bueno. Oh, look, sweat dripping. Sweat dripping. I got a workout. Hey, hey, hey. All right, so now they're ready to rest. And then for my toesies, I just put all this lovely tape on. What a waste. I could leave the tape on overnight and use it again tomorrow. I've sometimes done that, but the thing for me is, unless I have a blister under there I'm trying to protect, I really want my feet to be able to air out and rest and relax. And when I leave the tape on, they feel suffocated and they don't feel as good the next day. So I am going to take all the toe tape back off. And while I do that, I will look at lay comments. What do we have? Nice to know. Mine aren't the only toes that don't like that seam in the pads. Oh my God, Deanne, hi! Yeah, you're not alone, Deanne, with the not liking that seam in the toe pads. No thank you, not bueno. But there are some days when you're just so darn tired. This is what I like, is that if I work like this, then on the days when I'm really tired, I put that toe pad in. It's like putting on a bedroom slipper. I've had some times with rehearsals where you've been rehearsing for 6, 7, 8 hours straight on a really intensive piece, and your feet hurt so much they're almost numb, but you still have to run it like another hour. That's when I put those toe pads in, and it's like my feet are getting a vacation, and I can get through that last bit. But that's me. There are other people who put them on from the beginning, and maybe they have an easier time. I could be way wrong on this. I wonder if I put toe pads on, if that would help me with my Pointe turns. I mean, who the heck knows? But it's a process. What else do we have? Danielle Quinneville, just finished sewing some shoes. Yes, mamma jamma. Oh my gosh, Danielle, bring them to the next Pointe shoe party. I'm doing it this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I want to see a photo. I want to see how they look, for sure. Or tag me on Instagram. I don't follow anybody on Instagram because I'm weirdly paranoid about all that social media stuff. but I do love to see other people's stuff. So please let me know. I would love to see it. What else we got? Max Daddy. Oh, hello, Max Daddy. Good evening. I landed on your first attempt to tonight's live stream. Sorry. So sorry for being a bit late. Thank you for giving us all a simple class to keep us going. It's always nice to hear other tips and opinions to help me find what works best for me. Ah, yeah. I hear ya. It's like you can watch like 10 different videos on a topic and you're still like, I could watch 10 more. You know, like if you're into it, you're into it. So I hope that this is just another helpful video for you guys. Oh, Deanne, hi, the tape helps me too. I use lamb's wool for a long time. Yeah, lamb's wool is a good option. You know, it'll wad up for me sometimes, but if it stays nice and fluffy, it's good. All right, so I've got the toes untaped. Now, I'm just going to do some basic stuff. You guys saw it last time. I'm doing it again. Again, look at, I mean, these bunions are just, sometimes it's like this foot, it's gotten so bad. See how that toe will cross under? I really am going to have to get surgery at some point, but they don't hurt. That's the thing. So what's important for me is spreading those toes apart, being able to, what's the word? Individuate? Wow, I can't talk today. I'm really still tired from the Grand Canyon and walking every morning at 6 a.m. and everything, so I'm not making a lot of sense. But spreading the toes and trying to move each toe individually, that's so good. And it's really challenging for me with my bunions, but I try to do it. So even just putting your toes down on the ground and just, it's like Kill Bill. Wiggle your pinky toe. Try to move just the pinky toe. I can move the pinky toe, but everyone else wants to move with her. It's a she. I don't know why. Maybe her name is Matilda. Matilda the pinky toe. So, but there. She's doing her own thing. They are also moving. I could hold them down. I've tried that before. You hold them down, and then you try to move the pinky. Oh, there she goes. But they're like fighting me. It's really hard. So for now, though, just to kind of let them relax. It also is strengthening your feet. This is that whole toe grab pull. It's great to put a towel underneath or a scarf, a long scarf, and you pull it towards you. And then you get this big wad of cloth under you, though, so it's kind of annoying to move the cloth out underneath. And then you go again. But this is like classic point. And then you go the other way. All right, so down, up, 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 down, up. Ah, yes. I'm feeling a little bit of muscles in here working too. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to give each toe some individual love, right? And it's just kind of, you're letting the toes relax. Ooh, my MCL. I went on a mule ride when I was at the Grand Canyon, and when I got off, both outsides of my knees were really hurting. It was not good. So it's been interesting lately doing these stretches. There's been some tension in my knees. Need to look into that. All right, so I'm just gonna work each toe while it relaxes. Let them completely go limp. And you're just like spreading them out, or you can kind of give them a little bit of a rub. Yes, your hands are going to stink like crazy afterwards, so you want to have hand sanitizer ready, or just go wash your hands, which is what I'll do when I'm done. Do not touch your face. But this bit of attention is so good for the toes. There we go. So much better. Yes. I sleep better when I do this. And I also like to do just a little bit of lotion at night, not too much, right? But just a little bit. It's like feeding your skin. And I wish I'd done that more when I was dancing professionally. You know, again, I was raised in a religion that was all about turn away from the body. Don't pay attention. It's all a lie. Pray about it, because this is not your reality. Well, the reality for me was I ignored my body's signals and tried to avoid facing facts about when there was pain going on, and the prayer did not work for me. Now, it might work for some people out there, but it did not work for me. I ended up just having lots of injuries and problems and was really hard on myself. So I think, you know, again, it's like healthcare, preventative care, doing things like doing Pilates 3 times a week, doing some yoga, cross-training if you're careful about what kind you do. Swimming's great because it's low impact on your joints compared to like running on concrete or asphalt, things like that. All of that helps. It's just how many hours are there in a day? It's unfortunate that you have to put in it feels like you're putting in 24 hours work into your ballet career. And you should be getting paid at least 6 figures, at least. at least 6 figures a year for the amount of hours and work and effort that you put into this career path. And instead, what, you're getting 20 grand? Maybe. I had to put in that much effort as an apprentice. I'm making $200 a week. Can anyone do the math? 200 times, it's not 52 weeks. What is it, 36 weeks a year maybe? A 32-week contract? 32 times 200? What is that? That's $6,400. $6,400. Guys, seriously, that's insane. But I got free Pointe shoes, and I had a 403B plan, and I had health insurance, and compared to what I hear dancers get now in these companies, apparently that was like a really amazing deal. So it's insanity. You've got all the stress of you have to work a second job, you're trying to figure out, can you pay your rent? If you have like rich parents who can help you, great, but if you don't, my parents could help a little bit, but there's only so much they could do. And people seem to think it's just some sort of like hobby. It's like, no, you give your life. So there we go. I'm doing also, I like to do a thing where I take my hand and I pull over my toes, right? So I'm in a nice flex foot position, which gives a nice stretch here. And then I'll push into my hand. I'm pushing against it. Oh, that's really good. I also get a little bit of a stretch here in the back of my arm, but I'm trying not to focus on that as much as on my foot. Another great stretch that I like for underneath here, and you don't think about it as much, but I love it, and it's not easy for me. I notice how tense I am when I do this, and how much tension I can release. But you put your feet into that position, and then you sit back on your heels. Woo! I'm feeling it right under my big toe. Really good stretch under the big toe. And everyone's built differently, so everyone's going to feel it differently, right? Now, what's also interesting to note, I have now got a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders, and it's all connected, you guys. Again, if you want to have better splits, one really great way to improve your splits is work on releasing things up here. When this releases, things down there release, right? So besides doing things on for your toes and feet and everything, you need to also think about up here. Releasing and relaxing up here. Remember, all of it's connected. All of it. So don't just do your splits. Don't just do your upper body. Do all of it. It will make a difference. All right. That's a little better. My neighbors are getting rowdy. I can hear them. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the questions and comments. That's fantastic. It's just nice to see the community here. But I will be back on Tuesday for the Pointe shoe party, and that's where I sew shoes, work on, refurbishing or sewing my shoes, and talk about all kinds of topics. So feel free to come, bring your Pointe shoes, and bring your questions. And then hopefully Thursday I will be giving myself a live ballet bar. It's more for myself, and you can watch and either follow along or learn from it what you want, or just enjoy watching. And then I'm also working on more of my regular videos to put out for content. So I really have one I'm excited about that talks about my experience doing the voiceover work for Transformers for Netflix. That was an amazing opportunity. I really enjoyed that. So I wanted to share more about that with you guys. Tips, real quick, if you haven't caught it yet, go over to Catherine Morgan's channel. She talks about why she left Miami City Ballet. It is an excellent video. She's very classy about it, and I want you all to know that happens all the time. I listened to her story and I almost started crying because I'm like, yep, all of that sounds really, really familiar. And if you are thinking about becoming a professional ballet dancer, it is important for you to understand the political climate of a ballet company, right? And politics are everywhere, in every job. I have it in my day job. I've seen it in scouting. I've seen it in nonprofits. I've seen it in for-profits. You see it everywhere. But people somehow think, well, maybe it's not going to be in the ballet world. Yeah, it's there too. And I wish we did more to help prepare our young dancers how to navigate that world without just keeping their mouths shut and living in fear. There's got to be a better way to do this, you guys. So I'll make a video about that. Oh, cool. Deanne says, yippee, looking forward to Tuesday, Thursday. All right, you have Pointe class on Thursday, Deanne? Go get it, girl. I want to hear all about it. So maybe I'll see you after that, I'd love to hear how it went for you. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and click the bell or whatever hoo-ha thing you want. Like, comment, shade if you need to, and I will see you all real soon. You've been watching Ballerina Badass. My name is Georgia Reed. Never give up, never stop dancing. I love you all. Ugh. Toy, toy, toy. And now we end the stream. And then you say end.